So we're starting this journey in Lincoln, where I've been for the past week. It's been 1 week since my last match, and I've finally made the decision to start training full-time again. Let's just say an opportunity has presented itself, so I'm just going to go with it. We fueled up on coffee and hit the road. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Against All Odds. This is the series where I'm basically trying to show you that pro tennis is possible with pretty much zero budget. Probably not the smartest idea. Tennis is probably one of the most expensive sports in the world. But anyway, we find ourselves here. I've been playing for the past few months, kind of realizing that I'm not really going to get anywhere without training properly, because I've kind of been doing it a little bit by halves, just basically working with what I have. So I've decided to come down to Bisham with a coach who has been working with me on and off for the past few years, but his style just seems to really work with, you know, the way I play and that sort of thing. And yeah, we just, you know, seem to get on. So yeah, I've come down with him. We're at Bisham Abbey, which used to actually be the National Tennis Centre, I'm pretty sure. So it's pretty good, as you can see. Not the worst setting in the world, but we'll explore that in a little bit. So gonna go and grab some dinner, settle in for the night, and then start training tomorrow. So dinner done. It was actually pretty decent. Not quite sure what it was, but it worked for me. And yeah, I'm just taking a little walk around the grounds here, just seeing what the facilities have got to offer. So they actually have 4 clay courts as well as 4 outdoor hard. I'm pretty sure there's 4, maybe 5. Can't really see from here. And yeah, we're just gonna head back to the accommodation, check that out. But yeah, basically I'm trialing this week here at Bisham, like seeing if it works for me, like training wise and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm obviously going in really open-minded, and then I'm also going to be doing a little bit, you know, to give back. So, you know, a bit of time on court, that sort of thing, to obviously pay for my time here. So if anyone's wondering how I'm affording all of this, that's how I'm doing it. It's with my time, not with my money, because I doubt they'd want 67p. Yeah, this place looks pretty amazing. I just want to show you guys the Abbey. This is where we're staying. Pretty cool. There's like wedding receptions here and things like that. I think it's actually very, very, very nice. And then we've got the sports complex behind. You know, we've got some indoor tennis courts there, sports testing, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. So this is just inside the Abbey. It's pretty nice, actually. I've heard getting a wedding reception here is pretty pricey, as you can see. It's pretty good though. It's a bit quiet, a bit spooky actually. And I'm just here by myself. But I'm a big boy. Yeah, let's head up to the room. So, this is where I'll be spending the next week. Yeah, decent little view out there. Not that you can really see. Yeah, got some rackets that I'll be testing out this week. Got the Head MP Radical and the Pro. I'm not too sure if they're a bit garish for me, but we'll see. And then I've got this, which is an old classic K-Factor 95 16-18 string pattern. This will be on the channel at some point. All you racket nerds out there. And then, yeah, a French breadstick of a racket, the Technofiber T-Fight 305. That'll be featuring as well. So the grind never stops. We're going to get back out there. We're going to get in the gym for a bit of a late night session. Yeah, gonna mainly do some mobility. I'll see you in the gym. Very decent gym setup, I have to say. Not quite sure about the music, but I guess can't all be perfect. Yeah, just gonna look if I can get some stretching apparatus. These things are absolutely sick. Obviously these are the gyms, but if anybody hasn't come across these are it is a Theragun. And yeah, I guess without going too much into the science, I guess they're just really good for loosening you up. But yeah, I just use them whenever I can, really. If gyms have them, then it's a bonus. I obviously don't have my own. They are pretty expensive. I think they're like 300 or 400 quid. Yeah, not really in my budget at the moment. That was a good session. That I definitely needed a bit of a stretch. Probably was about 45 minutes, which I'd say is pretty long. But yeah, I'm just gonna grab a shower and then head back to Yakomo. My body feels pretty ridiculous after that stretch and a shower, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I think I'm up early for practice, at 8:30, up even earlier for breakfast, and a coffee, of course, can't forget that. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get an early night, and then I'll see you guys in the morning. Cheers. Okay, so it's about 7:15 in the morning. It doesn't feel that early because it's actually ridiculously bright and sunny for England. First thing on the agenda is a little bit of breakfast, got to fuel up, and then get in the gym, warm up. Yeah, let's see what this brekie's got. I'm pretty keen to see what the arrangement is and if they have any decent coffee. That's the main thing, but we'll see. There's people already on the tennis courts. I wonder what time they started. That's a bit too keen for me. A bit too much commitment, if I'm honest. My first session is at 8:30, which I actually thought was pretty early. Yeah, obviously not. When the coffee is so bad, you've got to have two. Cappuccino. First session of the day and we were on the dirt. Can't say it's the surface that suits my game the most, but I actually really enjoy playing on it. I like the movement, sliding around. It's pretty fun. You can see about 3 feet away from the baseline, we've got a set of cones out. The whole idea of this drill is if you hit it between the cone and the baseline, you score a point. If you hit it shorter than that, then you lose a point. And if you hit it in the net, then you get -2. It's a really good drill just for conditioning you to get height over the net and then also depth. which is a huge part of tennis. Helps you to push your opponent back, limit the angles, give yourself more time. The list goes on. As well as working on depth, I'm really working on attacking with my feet at the minute, just trying to pressure my opponent with my movement, so keeping those backswings nice and short, guaranteeing the contact, trying to find the space out in front as much as possible. And this one was actually a really good drill, especially for a single-hander. It's slice to slice, and then the first person to hit a forehand then can change direction. This is a pretty key skill as a oneie, especially with those guys trying to get the ball high up to your backhand. If you can keep the ball low, make them hit up, then you've got more time to move around and take the ball on. Okay, so we just finished first session on the dirt, and yeah, it's not my favourite experience, but I'll tell you what has made my day a lot better.
It's the start.
Mr. Cam Price.
Of the Hos vlog.
First appearance on my channel. Well, second appearance, actually.
Do counter recording.
Yeah. Look at this setup. This guy's a pro. I've just got an iPhone, and this guy's got the whole...
Well, you got the pro mics there, haven't you?
Have I? I think... Maybe I have. I don't know what I've got. I'm a complete amateur content creator. Yeah. But
well, here we go.
Yeah. So pretty much every time I come off court, just gotta, you know, put my body back together a little bit. It's when you're playing, you're gonna get tense, stiff, you know. So you got to make sure everything is loose and everything just keeps on moving. So, second session of the day. Now, there was even more of a focus on taking the ball early, so you'll probably see that I'm trying to get inside the baseline as much as possible, even when it might not be the right time. I'm just kind of in this phase of experimenting a little bit, but it all starts with having the right intention of moving forward, taking the ball on. The feeling that I'm aiming for is keeping the upper body really effortless, working as hard as I can with the feet to stay low, stay through the ball. I was finding that sometimes I was getting a little bit caught out, like the ball was coming a bit too deep and I was still too far in the court, and I was just having to use my hands a little bit more. But this definitely feels like more of the direction that my game should be going in.
Yeah, looking for it.
So we spent about half an hour working up and down the middle, just getting the tempo really high. And while we were practicing this, when the ball was short, we both decided to step up and hit it into a corner, or even move into the net and put away a volley. I find that trying to find consistency from the baseline is definitely a trap that a lot of players get stuck in, where they spend so much time just hitting from the back instead of trying to transition forwards, and they end up hitting way more balls than they should be. Doing this sort of work, 4 shots should feel like a long rally, especially with the tour average being just over 1 shot, which is pretty much a serve and a third ball. After the half an hour up and down the middle, we moved into some open points with exactly the same intention, really using the feet to attack and transitioning forwards whenever possible. I'll admit I wasn't winning loads of points at the net, but I was moving forward as much as I could, feeling good, doing the right things. And then we moved into playing a set. So you can see how the session was structured. At first, it was loads of volume, trying to get those repetitions in. Then it's trying to implement those reps into points in a full court situation. And then it's, can you do it in a set? So I actually went 3 love down at the start of this set, trying to take the ball on, trying to take the ball early, be as aggressive as I could with my court position. But I was just making errors. Then after that 3 love game, things started to really click. I gained quite a lot of confidence and got it back to 3 all. As you can see, just moving in wherever possible. And that sun was a bit of a nightmare. We ended the set at 5 all. We were getting kicked off the court, so unfortunately we weren't going to find out who was going to win, but I was very happy with the level. This session really felt like I had a lot of clear direction. That's on-court training done for the day. Time for some food. After lunch and training, I jumped straight back on court to help out one of the coaches, doing some hitting with a very talented junior player. And after all that work, I think you all know what I needed. Yep, my 3rd coffee of the day. So that's pretty much the end of the day. Thank you again for watching. We will be back this week. There's plenty more on the way. Me and Cam are just gonna go and film some new content now.
Wooden rackets versus the Sabre.
Wooden rackets versus the Sabre. Shoe content.
Already wearing them.
Already wearing them. That was on my side. But yeah, as always, like and subscribe if you haven't done already.
Like and subscribe.
And then, yeah, I'll see you guys during the week.